This is the one, if you're speaking on a topic that's city council.
All right, friends, welcome. We're going to stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Kathy, if you can do a roll call, please.
You got it. King?
Present.
Hugh?
Present.
Liff? Here. Galogly?
Here.
Bergbauer?
Here.
Deskin?
Here.
Bartleson?
Here.
Cardamone?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Right on. All right, we got some liaison reports tonight. Oh, wait a minute. Bill Carroll's in the house. Please open us up.
Good evening, everybody. Pray with me if you would, please. Heavenly Father, I pray for the flourishing of our community, spiritually, socially, economically. May we work together to create a place where all are valued, where justice and righteousness prevail, and where the needs of the most vulnerable are met. I pray for those who are in positions of leadership within our community. Grant them wisdom, discernment, and humility as they serve the needs of our people. May they be guided by your truth and by your love. And finally, Lord, I thank you for the gift of community and the bonds of love and encouragement that unite us. Help us to be instruments of your peace, shining your light and spreading your love wherever we go. In your name, amen.
Thank you, Bill. All right. What do we got for liaisons tonight, Susie?
Yes, for special events, there are 2 events at the White Oak Library, the Lockport branch. The first on Tuesday, June 9th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Connie Martin, the Quilt Whisperer, will provide a fascinating presentation on pre-Civil War quilts, where she will talk about the hidden history and quilt codes associated with the Underground Railroad. Then, to help celebrate Route's 66th 100th anniversary, award-winning author Cheryl Eichar Jett will discuss the important role women played along the historical highway with Aprons Away. This event will take place on Wednesday, June 17th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. You can register for either of these events at the White Oak Library website. Then, please join us every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Trackside Farmers Market at the Lockport Metro Station, where you can find local produce, baked goods, artisan goods, and more. Then we have Cruisin' into Lockport. This will take place every Monday evening at Central Square. It'll have live music, food, family fun, an exciting car show. Visit the city's website for a full schedule. And please note, there will be no car show on Monday, June 15th, due to Canal Days. Then we have Fridays in the Park. Our first date will be held this Friday, June 5th, from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Lincoln Landing. True Vinyl will be performing greatest hits from the 60s and 80s. There will be food and family-friendly activities. And last but not least, please save the date for Old Canal Days, June 11th through the 14th, featuring carnival rides, food, entertainment, fireworks, and new drone show on Thursday, June 11th at 10 p.m. And we are still in need for volunteers, so if you would like to volunteer, please visit the oldcanaldays.com website to register for a shift. And that's it.
Thank you, Susie. What else? You got anything?
Nothing for me.
Well, you, Robin.
I got one. I'm pleased to report that the Illinois State Legislature has passed the state fiscal year 2027 budget while rejecting proposed cuts to our local government distributive fund, maintaining our income share tax formula at 6.47% for 2027. Governor Pritzker had proposed a reduction of this rate to 6.28%, which would have resulted in an estimated $60 million in collective losses for local governments in Illinois in fiscal 2027. This decision helps ensure our revenues will remain stable and consistent with last year, so this is very good news.
It is good news. By the way, it's supposed to be 10%, but they've long since abandoned that, so I guess we're supposed to be grateful for the 6, but that is good that it didn't reduce it further. We got there, JR.
Couple things. I'm excited to share that Jason Neighbors, our wastewater superintendent, has been honored with the William D. Hatfield Award from the Central States Water Environment Association, a recognition reserved for those who demonstrate outstanding achievement in wastewater treatment operations. Since 1946, this award has highlighted individuals who elevate the profession through excellence, innovation, and service. Jason's leadership, commitment to high-quality plant performance, strong public relations, and dedication to training and mentoring others truly set him apart. His thoughtful reporting, innovative in-plant studies, and willingness to share knowledge with the broader community reflect the spirit of this award. We are incredibly proud of Jason and grateful for the impact he makes every day. Congratulations on this remarkable accomplishment.
That's very cool.
And-
Bravo, bravo. You know how like when you win a bowling trophy, there's like a bowler? Did you see the trophy for wastewater?
I did not.
All right, you don't want to know, man, it's bad.
And IDOT resurfacing. IDOT has begun its project on 159th Street from Robson Drive to just east of Edelman Drive. The work includes resurfacing the roadway, installing a pedestrian signal and crosswalk at the north leg of Edelman Drive and 159th Street, and completing sidewalk, curb, and gutter rehabilitation within the project limits. The project is anticipated to be completed by the end of summer. And
Right
that's
on.
all I have.
Thank you, sir. Christina, you got anything?
No.
All right. Darren, Joanne, what do you got, Joanne? Talk to us.
Okay, so it's that time of the season again where we are starting our spring and summer property beautification contest. And basically, this is properties that are nominated by the city elected officials, staff, neighbors, based on curb appeal, decorations, and overall maintenance. All nominees will be recognized, and one winner per ward will be chosen at the August 19th City Council meeting. Please confirm your nomination by emailing Kim at the Lockport email address. That's will be sent out here. It's kalvardo@lockport.org by July 30th. That is when the contests will actually end, and August 19th is when we're going to recognize anyone. So please, if you know a neighbor that has done a fantastic job in decorating their property, please tell them that we'd love to have them submit 4 pictures, and we'll recognize them at the August 19th city meeting. So thank you. And then, and also, if you see something like this hanging on your door, that means somebody recognized your home, and we would like for you to respond and just send 4 pictures. That's all we need, and we can have a great recognition for you. And we do have first, second, and third place winners. So if your home is that lucky one, you'll get a gift certificate provided by the city of Lockport. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for driving that all the time. Appreciate it. And Steve, you good? All right. Why don't we jump into it? So tonight we're looking for a motion to have a consent agenda.
Second.
All right, Joanne and JR, all in favor? Aye. All right, so tonight we're looking for motions to approve the regular city council meeting minutes from May 20th, the committee of the whole meeting minutes from May 20th, our payroll period ending May 24th, and then there was resolution 26070, which was a fire alarm and sprinkler system grant for 936 North State Street. So looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
I'll second.
Oh, man, Jonathan, who's the second there?
Probably Susan.
All right, we'll give it to Susan. And if we can do a roll call, please.
Yes.
Aye.
Liff? Yes. Galogly?
Yes.
Birdbauer?
Yes.
Deskin?
Yes.
Bartleson?
Yes?
Cardamone?
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, next we're looking for a motion to approve bills through May 26th.
So moved.
Second?
All right, Darren, and Joanne. All right, if we can do any questions, thoughts, concerns? Good, all right. Do a roll call, please.
You got it. King?
Yes.
Pugh?
Aye.
Liff? Yes. Galogly?
I abstain. The city of Lockport is paying my employer for some storm and water material.
Bergbauer?
Yes.
Deskin?
Yes.
Bartleson?
Yes?
Cardamone?
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, very good. And the next one is, we're looking for a motion to pass Resolution 26077. This is for the Municipal Housing Authority. I can explain it. So we're looking for a motion first.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Darren, JR. So as you guys know, the BUILD Act was like a lot of controversy around the Build Act going in Springfield, and municipalities all over the state had a lot of issues with it, and we're pushing back. We would have passed this earlier had our council meeting happened a little earlier, but just as of like yesterday, I think the Build Act kind of came to a screeching halt, which was good. It was not good legislation. Maybe the heart of it was good, well meant, but it was it didn't take into account a lot of things that municipalities are responsible for and what we have to deal with. So, but if we can still pass the resolution, put it on the books, which is fine. So we're looking, if we can, get any questions or thoughts before we do a roll call on it? Okay. So this is in support of, kind of local authority over these things. So we'll do a roll call, please, Kathy.
You got it. King?
Yes.
Pugh?
Aye.
Liff?
Yes.
Galogly?
Yes.
Bergbauer?
Yes.
Deskin?
Yes.
Bartleson?
Yes?
Cardamone?
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right. We'll save new business and open comments for the end of our next meeting. So if we've got nothing else, we'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Robin, and is that Christina?
Yes.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Whenever you're ready, Kathy, you can start us up on committee of the whole with a roll call.
Okay. All right, ready if you are.
Yeah, please.
All right, roll call. King?
Present.
Pugh?
Present.
Liff?
Here.
Galogly?
Here.
Bergbauer?
Here.
Deskin?
Here.
Bartleson?
Here?
Cardamone?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, first up is stuff that gets Robin really excited, right? This is the presentation of the 2025 audited financial statement. So Lisa, you want to take this away for us?
Yes, thank you. We have Lindsay Fish from our audit firm, Sickage, to go ahead and present the audit for us.
All right, thank you. I like the excitement going into this presentation. So thank you for inviting me to your meeting this evening to present to you the results of your audit for the year ended December 31st, 2025. My comments this evening are going to focus on the annual comprehensive financial report. I've got about a 5-minute presentation prepared for you this evening to go over the results of the audit. So the first thing I would like to recognize about 5 pages into the audit report is the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. The city received this award for your December 31st, 2024 audit report. So your audit really has 3 sections, or your audit report has 3 sections. You have the introductory section, the financial section, and the statistical section. The financial section is what meets the requirements of Illinois compiled statutes. That introductory and statistical section is what makes it a comprehensive report. This is considered to be the highest level of financial reporting and most transparent when you issue an annual comprehensive financial report. So congratulations to the city on that receipt of that achievement, and good luck and going forward for future years as well. After that, I would like to cover the independent auditor's report. So that is on page number 1. That is on Sickage letterhead. The second paragraph down includes the opinion that was issued on the financial statements. In our opinion, the financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the city of Lockport as of December 31st, 2025. So this is an unmodified opinion, also known as a clean audit opinion. So this is the type of opinion you want to receive, and this means that your financial statements are fairly stated in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles and free of material misstatement. A few pages forward from there is page number 5, so a second opinion on Sickage letterhead. This second opinion is required due to the amount of state and federal funding that the city spends on an annual basis. So this is our report on internal control over financial reporting. This opinion notes no material weaknesses in internal control over financial reporting and no non-compliance with laws and regulations. So overall, another clean opinion, if you will, there. About 3 pages forward from there is the management's discussion and analysis, or MD&A for short. It's a pretty large audit report you've got in front of you, a pretty thick bound report. So I always say if there's one part of the report you're going to read, I would say start with your management's discussion and analysis. It is really, and as it's titled, this is prepared by management. We just review it for consistency with the financial statements and ensure it's in compliance with accounting standards. But I always say to read the management's discussion analysis because it's a good high-level overview of the financial statements, and it's kind of in layman's terms. You don't have the accounting language that you'll kind of see throughout the audit report. And here's where you'll see some more explanations behind the numbers as well. So within the audit report yourself, your auditors don't explain, why things went up and down, but within the management's discussion, that is management's opportunity to explain year-over-year variances as well as budget variances. So that's your piece of required reading, if you will, is the management's discussion and analysis. From there, I'm going to flip to your financial statements. So page 11 and 12 is your balance sheet for your governmental funds. So these are your funds that are tax supported or your governmental funds. Bottom of page 12, second line up from the bottom is your total fund balances. So overall, your governmental funds had total fund balance of about $31.6 million. All of the balances within each individual fund were all in compliance with the city's fund balance policies. And your fund balance did have an increase of about $2.3 million compared to the prior year. A couple more pages forward from there to page number 18 is your income statement for your proprietary funds. So this is your water and sewer funds. These are your funds that are supported by user fees rather than being tax supported funds. So focus here would be the third line up from the bottom, your change in net position. Overall did have a positive increase in net position in that fund as well, a $4.4 million increase to bring your ending net position to $108 million there. Two more pages I'd like to cover for you this evening is page 66 and 67. This is your schedule of your changes in your net pension liability for Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, or IMRF. I always think it's just important just kind of have an update, a snapshot of where you sit with your pension plans. This information is presented as of December 31st, 2024, so it is presented a year in arrears, which is allowable under accounting standards, and the city has elected to report the year in arrears just for the timeliness of information to ensure everything can be issued on time. But what I would like to highlight is on page 67, the top right corner, there's a percentage there, that's your planned fiduciary net position. So IMRF has estimated that your net pension liability is $27 million. The city has set aside $25.6 million, left with a net pension liability of $1.4 million. So that puts you at 94.7% funded. So very well positioned there to be over 90% funded in IMRF and that pension plan. And then the next page from there, 68 and 69, is similar information but presented for your police pension fund. So your total pension liability, what the estimated liability would be, is $53.4 million. You have $46.2 million set aside, so a pension liability of about $7.1 million there. So top right corner of page 69 puts you at 86.6% funded. So again, very well positioned there in both of your pension plans. So that concludes my comments for you this evening. Would just like to thank Lisa and Maggie and the team at the city for all of the help during the audit this year. So Sikich came in as a new firm this year. So sometimes in the first year there can be some unique challenges, just not having the familiarity, but it went about as smooth as it possibly could go. Your team was very well prepared and very professional and easy to work with, so I just wanted to make sure that the City Council recognizes all of their efforts as well. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you, Lisa and Maggie, as always. Any thoughts, questions, concerns from the council?
More of a curiosity question. From the pension liability percentage, I'm obviously super impressed with that. Any ideas, like, for surrounding communities? Do you guys work with some of the surrounding communities and how that compares?
It varies from community to community just based upon what your funding plan is. So, most of it, your goal is to be 80% funded by 2040, I believe is what the goal is there. So you've got yourself well positioned there. I don't know the background behind the funding status of how you got there, but historically, even just if you look at that schedule and look at the previous years, historically have been very well funded there.
So you're calling Ben and Lisa high overachievers is what it is. So, okay, thank you. I was just curious.
It's the pension fund.
Yeah.
So there's a committee of people that sit on the pension fund trustees, and I do sit on that with them, and we very much take this seriously to make sure that our pension is well funded. So
Well, that's evident.
we're pretty aggressive.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, anything else? Well, thank you. We really appreciate it. Like I said, it's a lot of work to go through all this stuff, so. All right.
Thank you.
Anything else you need from us then? We're good?
Nope, that's it.
All right,
Thank
thank you. Next, we're going to talk about Resolution 26073, which is a software contract. Lisa, you want to take this?
Yes, thank you. City uses BSNA software for our financial software and also for the building permit modules for the city. We've used them since 2017. In 2021, they rolled out a cloud version of the software. So the existing software that we're on is on-premise, and they're no longer making updates to the software. They're not telling us we have to go off of it yet, but it will come. That day will come for us. So we're trying to take the proactive approach and start looking towards moving to the cloud. What we're looking at as in a time frame is trying to go live with this new implementation next February. So it won't come out of this year's budget, it'll come out of next year's budget, but the contract needs to be signed within the next 30 days so that we can get on their schedule, because they have a lot of people trying to convert. So with that being said, the implementation costs are $86,500. That includes data migration, custom reports, security configuration, staff training, testing. So the second piece to that is the annual ongoing cost to be able to use that software on the cloud. So right now we're paying about $48,000 a year. Going to the cloud is going to go up substantially to about $108,000. I believe that that's in line with what other software companies charge for that. It seems like a lot of money, but you know, everything going out to the cloud, the data centers, all of the costs pertaining to that really do add up. So they wanted it to keep a pretty standard amount for us. So there's a 5% escalator built in year over year, but they understand that when municipalities, if costs for them go up and it goes up tremendously, they don't want that number to be swinging up and down for us. So they're looking at a constant 5% going forward. Again, which looks like it's in a line. I did check with a number of my peers in other municipalities to find out what they're paying for software costs, what they're paying for ongoing escalators, and it is, if we would have changed back in 2021, we probably would have gotten a smaller dollar amount for ongoing, but now this is the going rate. So every year we wait after this, the cost will go up even more. So I feel it's in our best interest to take advantage of the efficiencies that are built in. There's improved security. We're not doing this stuff in-house. We're not dealing with hardware, server maintenance, software updates, backup management. This software also allows remote accessibility, which would have been helpful when we did the construction here. But going forward, I know there's a lot of people that like to work from home on the weekends and the nights, and this would allow them to be able to do that because they would be able to get access to the cloud. So I know that there's a number of people that would be thrilled to have that as an opportunity. Updates would happen automatically. Right now, every update that happens, I have to institute it, and then every employee after that has to institute it because we all have to be on the same version. So there's some efficiencies that will come with automatic updates. There's also product enhancements, their use of AI and automation. Some of the things that they showed us at a demo is it's really going to create some efficiencies within the department itself. So I'm really looking forward to that. It offers in-field building inspections for Lance's team. It's a run record system. So if anybody pulls up one address of the city, they'll see all the activity that's happened with the city, a building permit, a utility bill, some other type of code enforcement, which is going to create some more efficiencies with customer service when we're working with people. There's reminders and alerts for Lance's group for contractor registration. So if a contractor's expiring with their registration, we'll send them a note so they can reach out to that contractor. So there's a number of things that are out there that we're all looking forward to being able to implement here in the city. So looking for any questions from?
Yes, I have a question regarding customer service. If you had some type of problem, are they available 24 hours?
No. They're not available 24 hours. They're out of Michigan, and just like the support they provide to us now, they have working hours that I believe it's like 7 o'clock till 7 o'clock, but it's not a 24-hour.
So what would the procedure be if someone was working at home after hours, ran into something? What would they do?
They would put in a ticket with the system, and they would wait for customer support to reach back out to them.
Okay.
So, yeah, but they're not big enough of a company to be 24 hours.
Guys, just two brief questions. Obviously, I mean, everybody is pushing this way. I mean, we have software systems right now that are going from, on-site to the cloud, and it's a pain in the rear. But two questions I have is, I mean, do we have any comparables for this company, or is this is pretty much the premier software, for the city?
So you pay by module that you have. So we're looking at implementing the same modules that we currently have. And I did do comparables. I did go back and look at a number of other municipalities that are already on the cloud or moved from the on-premise like we are to the cloud to see what their escalators look like. And those companies that implemented early on, they're paying less. But they have told me that, every year that they approach us, they're paying less, and the people who come after us will pay more.
I'm just thinking of maybe a different provider, just
yes.
to get a comparable.
So yes, I have taken a look. I have talked to a gentleman who has become a really good friend of mine. He used to be a finance director, and now he does ERP implementations in government. And when I went through this proposal with him to say, hey, this seems like a lot for software we already use, and he said, implementations now are going in at over $1 million. He said, you better be lucky that this is what you're looking at, staying with the same company that you've invested in. So I don't have a specific quote for this city from another company because we're already using their software, and we're looking at using the cloud-based version of their software. So it's kind of a sole source for us at this point, but I'm being told that if we go to a completely different provider like Tyler or some of those other software companies that are out there, we're looking at over $1 million to switch software.
Well, I wouldn't mind.
Of course.
I wouldn't mind just seeing a comparable. That way we'll all look super, super smart.
Yeah,
when we
no,
don't do that.
When we were originally starting to contemplate, versus our server on site versus going to the cloud, I went out and looked at 5 different companies that run just CED specific, so building permits, code enforcement, things like that. I was finding even one of those just for the CED, the quote that I got was over $100,000 a year, just for the CED module. This one handles the finance, it handles the water building, it handles the CED platform. So all of those are combined, and our engineering team can get in there as well for some of their stuff. So this is much more of a comprehensive one, whereas the ones that I were looking at, they really focus just on CED. Now, are there some differences in the way that you can do it? Sure, but at the same time, having the connectivity with our finance, so all of our invoicing, all of our accounts payable, all of our rental registration forms, everything like that can easily transfer between finance department, between CED, water billing. We can check all of those kinds of things. We use it a lot, even for like our rental program, where if somebody hasn't paid their registration fee, we can flag that property in our system, so that the water billing knows that there's an outstanding amount due, or the finance department knows that. So there's a lot of interconnectivity that occurs, whereas a lot of the other ones are CED focused, finance focused. So we felt that as we've gone through that, my staff feels very comfortable with the BSNA platform, and they went through a demo session with the cloud version of it and feel really comfortable with that transition. Anytime you make change, when it's a wholesale change, it changes hard. But when it's a consistent platform that you're working with, it's a lot easier.
I understand all of that. I think it just would be maybe just interesting to see, just to show what the savings would be by staying where we are. Maybe just getting a comparable.
Sure.
And I think I trust everything you're saying makes perfect sense, because we're doing the same thing. We're staying with our current vendor because it's going to be cheaper. Right. One other question: if we extend out, would we be able to get maybe an increase from 5%, maybe get that lower if we go from like a 3 to a 5-year contract?
No, I mean, this is ongoing year to year.
So it's just year to year, no options?
Right.
Okay.
It's year to year, there's no ability. In fact, what he's telling me is if we don't do it now, the price will definitely go up again next year. So
Okay.
I didn't, because I felt like this was we were staying with the existing software. I know going to a completely new implementation is going to be tremendously more. And asking somebody to go through and work through a proposal for something that I know is going to be substantially more, I just didn't request it.
No, I respect that, but I think it might not be bad, just a bad decision, or, yeah, it might not be a bad decision just to get a comparable, and again, I would not be afraid to say, here's the rate we're willing to pay, and just get a comparable. And if they can't touch it, then we're golden.
So what I did look up is what some other municipalities in a like software, which is called Tyler Munis, which is also just geared towards government, and their ongoing costs for like modules were $169,000 last year for some of the other municipalities. So I did find some that were on Tyler. So I know that we would still have to pay implementation costs on top of that. That is way beyond, which is where the $1 million comes in. So I did do the comparable for at least the software as a service, to know that what we're paying at 108 ongoing is going to be less than what people who are on like modules in Tyler. So if that's...
No, I just think it would be good to have something official, just so we can come back and say, here's the comparable. Because again, we might have a little bit, and we might not, just a little bit more negotiating power than we think we have.
I will absolutely try. I just don't know in a 2-week period of time whether I'll get a company who is able to give me a quote that fast.
Maybe we give it a shot.
Okay,
Is that fair?
I'll give that a try. Absolutely, I'll give it a try.
In the meantime, we can make sure we put it on as an action item,
Yes,
so
yes,
that's good.
please.
Are there other questions, concerns?
No, I just want to say that several times over the last few months, Lisa and I have discussed this upcoming transition with BSNA and how we should proceed with it. And she's been doing her due diligence and really looking into her options and what the upsides and the downsides are, and what other communities are doing, and what the cost would be if we were to choose to take a left turn and go somewhere else entirely. And I'm confident that she's found the best path here, and that she's presented to us here. And I'm ready to support this. So I'm confident that this is the thing that we should be doing.
Well, we appreciate your, being the liaison to finance, so thank you for that. And I guess, again, when you switch software, you got to retrain staff, they got to come up with new software, that takes a ton of time. But okay, I agree with Steve, it's important for us to see things when we can.
I will do my best.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't feel so bad about my Adobe Cloud subscription anymore. All right.
$1,500.
All right.
Yeah, I
Anything else?
had a couple of comments. Their contract didn't make me happy. They don't have a service level agreement, which when we're moving from a licensed product to a software as a service product, a service level agreement is typically in place. I understand that they're the big dog. Not big enough that they can have 24-hour service, but that they are one of the big companies that provide this software across the United States. But if they go down, we don't have any teeth to get back at them or to get some kind of, not even if they're down for half the month, we don't have a way to even get a discount for half the month of them not being on. There is no data, if we ever decide to not use them anymore, there's nothing in the contract that forces them to help us move our data off of the system and onto somebody else. And the last thing I'll say is make sure we're paying them on time, because it's 10 days and you're cut off, and that's in the contract too. And so it's really important for us to stay totally on top of this, because if there's nothing in the contract, then we've got to lean real heavy on Mike and start going after him legally. And I'd prefer not doing that. I'd prefer them to have this in, because if you're going to play in the software as a service game, I think you have to have a service level agreement that you have to say, we'll be up 99.5% of the time, and if we aren't, you get this discount, and if we're below that, you get this discount, and have that spelled out in the contract. And I get why they don't, because we're just Lockport.
We did ask,
it would be
though.
great to, I know we asked for it, and I did talk to Mike today about it. It would be great to look into, as we move forward, if there's any way, whether through IML or the other coalition, like purchasing coalitions that we use for heavy equipment, things like that, if there's some way to flex a little bit of muscle on them, because we just don't have the ability to do it, and they're very inflexible on their contract. And I get it. They don't want to change it. And, if they're that much cheaper than our alternatives, we are kind of over a barrel. And we just have to make sure we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's. And I don't have any doubt in this city staff to do that. But if there's a way to pay them and make sure it gets there so that we're not, sending it in with a day before our contract's due and they don't get the check. I don't want engineering, permitting, accounting, finance, everything to go down because we're putting more and more of these services in line with each other. And it would stink for everybody in the city for that stuff to not be, firing on all cylinders. And so I have a high expectation of them. Lisa, I know you have a high expectation of them. Brian has a high expectation of them, and Lance, I know you have a high expectation of them.
I'll tell you, I've been an on-premise person, right? I'm old.
Yeah.
So I'm an on-premise person. So going to the cloud does cause fear for me.
Sure.
Because that's the unknown. I can't control that.
Right.
I can have a server go down here and be out and not be able to, function here as well.
Right.
And have to rely on AT to bring me back up. But going to the cloud, I don't have that control.
Yeah.
So there is risk going to the cloud, but all the efficiencies and the things that it creates, the allowing of people to be able to work from home and to be able to approve timesheets and POs when they're maybe not in the office or they're out at a conference training or whatever. I understand why everybody's going that way.
Well, it's not an option. Like, they're done developing their
Right.
on-premise product, and so. Yeah,
Well, exactly, and that's a concern in and of
at risk,
itself.
right?
Well, and it did happen to us previously. The software we were on prior to 2017, same thing happened. They stopped supporting it, and there was no more product improvements done.
It's just the nature of the industry, and this is just going the same way everything else is, They phase a product out, and this is how they strongly encourage you to move on to the next product.
Yes, the world of subscriptions.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So I will follow up on your questions, and I will follow up again with them about a service level agreement. And
I don't think they're going to budge on it, but I think that where we might have an opportunity is if we approach them as multiple cities, like the purchasing groups that we have already, and taking that kind of approach. Because if we're a bigger fish, they have to listen to us maybe more than none.
Right. Now, that's a really good angle. I do belong to two groups, both a state and a National Association of Finance Directors, and it is definitely something that I'm going to at least
Yeah.
approach some of the director level people there.
Yeah, and
see
I was
if-
looking at all the other contracts we talked earlier, and thought I had found some that had negotiated it, and no, it was with Tyler Muni. Nobody has been able to crack their boilerplate contract. And I mean, I guess it's a testament to the quality of the product that people aren't willing to move off of it, that they just accept, the terms as they are. But it was weird to not see some promises getting made that if you don't use us anymore, we'll help you move off. If you stop using us, you'll have a certain amount of time, and that stuff not being in there is just stuff I want the city to be protected against. So.
No, I agree. So, okay.
Thank you for your hard work on
I'll follow
it.
up, and then we'll meet in 2 weeks to talk about it.
All right, we'll put it on action. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, next, CD1. What do you got, Lance?
Thank you, Mayor. This is related to ordinance 26014. Karen Horan, on behalf of Thrift Tea, has submitted a special use permit for a thrift store located at 123 East 9th Street, which is across 9th Street over here, just west of Hamilton. Thrift Tea is a nonprofit organization specializing in the resale of quality items. Thrift Tea exists in conjunction with the Refuge Mental Health Services, owned and operated by Karen as well. Revenues generated from the Thrift Tea will fund the low-cost and no-cost professional counseling services at the Refuge Center for community members who would not otherwise have access to such services. The subject property located on your screen, you can see where it is. It's about 3,800 square feet. It's on the first floor of the space that is I think directly west of Andy Coyle's office, law office there. It's currently zoned C4 downtown commercial. Here's your zoning map on your screen. The applicant is requesting a special use permit for that secondhand retail store. The code does have two provisions for secondhand retail stores that are the kind of the qualifiers for approval of the special use permit. That ancillary donation drop-off activities take place inside the building, with the donors entering the building and leaving items with an employee, and donations are only to be accepted during normal business hour, with no donations to be accepted or left outside the facility after normal business hours. That is their commitment to uphold it. They did have another location that is relocating here. That was their policy there, and it ran as well as it will here. As with all special uses, there are a couple of standards that we look to try and meet with any special use. The first one is related to the location and whether it's necessary and desirable to provide a service or facility in the public interest. We certainly think that given mental health care needs in the community and the cost of those mental health care needs, this is an opportunity to be able to provide those services by somebody that's experienced and has done this for a number of decades to those that might not otherwise be able to afford that. It also provide residents and visitors to access to goods at lower prices. Second standard is related to adjacent properties, the character of the neighborhood, traffic, utility, and other matters. They're going to operate in the same manner as any other retail store in downtown. All donations are prearranged and therefore not left anywhere around the building or behind the building, and they do not take any unscheduled drop-offs. The third one is how the building or use will be designed, arranged, and operated. They will be operating entirely within their leased space. There is additional storage space in the basement. That's where they will take in some of the donations, take it down to the basement, sift through it, figure out what's good, what's bad, be able to remove what they don't need, and be able to display what they want to sell. And neighboring properties won't be limited in any of their uses simply by having the resale store there. Our request is to place ordinance 26014 on the June 17th City Council meeting for consent or action.
All right. Questions, thoughts, concerns?
The applicant is here in the audience if you have any questions for her.
I just had a quick question. Could the donations be given in the back door or only in the front door?
They will likely come in the back door.
Oh, okay.
That's the plan, because there's a parking lot there and be able to pull things out of a trunk.
Okay.
Is it the parking lot that's shared with Cool Creations?
Yeah.
In that back?
It's shared with a number of different businesses.
Are they required to have their own dumpster? I'm just thinking if you get like a huge ton of donations, they go down to the basement, you sift through it, and you got hoodwinked, and you need to get all that stuff into the dumpster.
Yeah.
Are they shared back there?
Karen, do you want to come up and?
Hi, Karen.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
So what our team does is we actually go look at the items before we take them.
Oh, perfect.
We don't do any unnecessary moving that we don't have to. And then we can refer to other places that would take those things if it would not fit within our stuff.
Nice. Thank you for answering that for me. Thank you for
Any
coming.
other questions?
Yeah, welcome, Karen, appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, tell me about, so where was your other location?
So we had a building in Elwood, Illinois, but we had a landlord was selling the building, so we
Okay.
lost our building.
All right.
My practice has been around New Lenox area, so I wanted to stay within distance to all of the current clients that I service. So I found myself here in Lockport.
Very good. So how do you, give us some insight on how you manage when you're doing counseling at the same time, like if people come into the store and they're looking to, browse around?
So it's separated, it will be separated. The store will occupy the front of the building, and then I have an office in the back of the building that is used. I have, the thrift store is a non-for-profit, so it's run through a board. So although that I founded it, I will not be in charge of running it. We have other committee members that will be doing that, and employees and volunteers.
Okay, so you're not doing dual duty, trying to counsel and run the store?
Listen, I can try really hard to multitask, but that would be a whole lot to take on, and my purpose is to help people. There are other people that can take care of the rest.
Okay, very good. Anything else? Yeah.
When are you planning or hoping to be open?
As soon as you guys tell me I can. Patiently waiting. Can we
Perfect,
skip
right.
the next meeting and just all say aye? I would have loved to be open for Old Canal Days. I think it would have been a great contribution. So we're just waiting on our permit.
So I guess, I'm very glad you're thinking of Lockport and being here, and the mental health services is like more necessary than ever. I appreciate that. There was a time many years ago where we had an inordinate amount of thrift stores in our downtown, and it kind of made it feel a little bit, dumpy, right? Back in the day, they weren't managed very well, right? Things bled out into the street and of all those kind of things, and so this is the first time a resale thrift store has come back into the downtown in a long time. And so there's a little concern that maybe, we don't want to kind of go back into a direction. Now, it does require a special use, right? And so I guess the one thing that we would kind of be concerned about, I don't think it is, does it open a gate to have 5 more people come in and look for, have a thrift store, and does that become problematic, right? And how do we manage that as we, go forward into the future? I think thrift stores are necessary. Me and my wife shop them all the time, right? So it's just that with the special use in place, it kind of it's kept it from being unchecked. And so what would be our standards, I think, for saying yes or no to one in the future if 5 more come and we're like, oh my gosh, we're going back to kind of an older way that our downtown looked. So I think it's just something for us to kind of be mindful of as we think through, how we approach these things. But in the meantime, we can put it on for an action item, and we thank you for, thinking of Lockport, and, appreciate you coming.
I love the community. Even our own building has lots of mental health professionals, but we all do something very different.
Sure.
So I think it will be an excellent addition to the community, and I would vote against any other thrift store that wanted to come into this. I promise.
Yeah, and but we got to get that door fixed on that building.
Oh, please.
Yeah, it drives me.
Scary sometimes.
Yeah, I know we had officers look at it one night because I noticed it was open all night, and so.
Can't close it.
Yeah, I guess I'm sure you've reached out already, but we can get back.
We can do that.
Okay, all right, Karen, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Karen.
All right, friends, what else you got there, Lance? CD2.
Thank you, Mayor. This is related to Ordinance 26015. Josh Broad, who is in the audience today, is the applicant, has submitted an application for a special use permit for a liquor store on behalf of Grishu OHM LLC, doing business as Lockport Liquor. The property is located at 1059 East 9th Street, over roughly in the Ace Plaza over there. The applicant seeks a special use approval to establish a packaged goods liquor store. Business will primarily sell alcoholic products, including beer, wine, and spirits, with additional sales of soda, candy, chips, tobacco products. No on-site consumption will be permitted. This is actually a relocation of a liquor license from the State Street Pantry location. This applicant purchased that business, and they would like to relocate a little bit further east, so that place will be vacated if this were to occur. On your screen, you'll see the rough location. If you know or remember where the post office was in there, that is the general space that he is looking at. It's currently Zone C2 for a commercial. Special use permit is required for a liquor store. Here's the zoning map showing where it is and the C2 zoning. Just like a thrift store, we have standards for a special use. This one, similar topics that we cover in the other one. Related to the use at the particular location being necessary or desirable to provide a service or a facility in the public interest. It was interesting when they first approached us, we started to try and identify how many liquor stores we even had in Lockport. And for true liquor stores, we only had 2. Another one is unincorporated up at Smith Road, but the one down by the metro station, and then Consumer Liquors next to Sports Huddle. you can certainly buy liquor at Burcott's and Jewel, but this offers another opportunity for people kind of in the middle of the community to be able to have access to that as well. This being a substantial adverse effect upon adjacent property, they are highly skilled in the security component of it, all the ID checks, all of the different components that are required for that. That is kind of something that they make a corporate commitment to when they locate in a place. It's going to be within the Regency Point Shopping Center, so it's a total commercial district in and where it is, very similar to what Consumer Liquor has over to the west of there. They will comply with all city, state, and federal laws, as well as their liquor license requirements. They're going to be equipped with a security camera and alarm system. The last one is how it's going to be designed and operated. Given the lack of outdoor space in that plaza, there's really no opportunity to congregate outside the front door. The sidewalk is only about 7 or 8 feet wide before you enter right into the drive lane. And they don't allow consumption on site, and they don't allow it, and the owner of the plaza doesn't allow it, certainly on their site as well. So there isn't really any impact to the adjacent neighbors either. Our request is to place ordinance 26015 on the June 17th City Council agenda for consent or action.
All right, questions, concerns?
The applicant is here as well as his attorney if you'd like to ask them any questions, and I'd certainly be welcome to answer.
I will have a question, so come on up, please.
I will too.
I have a question. One of the things that concerned me about the former place is it went from, once upon a time, it was a White Hen Pantry, and then we allowed him to have beer and wine, then it evolved into one of the worst liquor stores I've ever walked into, and then it evolved into shelves and shelves full of paraphernalia and Delta 8 and other derivatives, Kratom and all the other stuff, and which is probably the reason why they went out of business. So I don't want to see any of that stuff in that store.
Yeah, and this is a liquor license. The applicant has two other stores in the city. One I personally lived right by. I used to live right by the Sheridan L line, and that was where one of the stores was. Extremely well, and I'm not just saying this because I'm their attorney, but it is extremely well run, extremely well lit. They really do take security seriously, and if you walk by it, you have to look at it it doesn't look like a standard liquor store. So they have a track record of running liquor stores properly and by the book, and that is what they will bring to Lockport.
Mr. Mayor, may I?
Yeah, of course.
So the mayor's aware of this because as liquor commissioner, he and I had meetings with this applicant previously. He had no original connection to the South State Street Pantry. He had contacted me, as many people do regularly, looking to open the liquor store exactly where council's application is pending for tonight. We didn't have any liquor licenses available. So then he asked, could he buy someone's license? No, we don't transfer liquor licenses. However, then he indicated he'd be willing to buy the location in South State from the owner at the time that Alderman Deskin's talking about. We were already looking at them for possible violations, and that store would shut down. So we made it a condition precedent after he met with the mayor's liquor commissioner that store shut down, bring in their license, pay up all their license fees, and then the liquor commissioner would entertain the liquor license. So this is an entirely new applicant with no connection to that store, other than the fact that he bought it so that he could have a liquor license available, or the city would have an available license for you to consider tonight.
So one question is, I always get concerned with liquor stores, and again, like Alderman Deskin said, I just get nervous, what other paraphernalia that is sold, but also like hours of operation. Do we have any questions about how that could impact, you know, the neighbors in that area.
Yeah, their hours of operation that they have placed on the application is 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then 9 a.m. to midnight on Friday and Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Sunday.
And what were the hours on State Street? I know it wasn't their business, but I'm just curious, do you recall what those were?
I don't.
You said there was he has two other stores?
Yeah, one's right by the Sheridan Red Line, and where's?
What's the addresses of those?
You want the addresses of the other locations?
Was the 3946 North Sheridan, Chicago, Illinois 60613. It's called Sheridan Liquor. And another one is a few blocks down, Lakeside Market, 801 West Irving Park Road, Chicago, Illinois 60613. They both are in Wrigleyville, Lakeview area.
Thank you.
Do you guys are you looking at any like extraordinary, security things stuff that I don't like personally, the big metal door that you close over the front door at night, that kind of stuff that we see at that one tobacco shop. It just looks seedy. Are you thinking that you need to do that kind of stuff, or what's your goal for just closing up shop at night?
The new location, the Lockport.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if city requires anything, we can do. But
Actually, I don't require, I'm kind of against it, because I don't like the way it looks. It just looks like, yeah, it looks like it does, it looks tacky.
I mean, I think with a lot of these details, the owner is happy to work with the city to make sure that everything kind of looks appropriate.
And the only other comment I'd have is, I'd ask the applicant to, before they put anything in the window, any lights or anything, that they review with our staff our ordinance, because if we can go ahead and see the green lights or yellow lights on Mars, it's going to come down within 24 hours. So make sure you work with Lance on that.
For sure. Well, next step is permitting, and we look forward to that step.
All right. Anything else? Did you have something, Jonathan?
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, well, why don't we put it on for an action item, and then I think, looking at it too as an opportunity is it's really a lateral move, right? Closing the one and moving the liquor license to new locations, an opportunity to get things cleaned up, and, we can approach the Gatzes about like their building and, what can we do to help assist, get that place cleaned up. I mean, I know they're eligible for facade grants and other things, and it's a good opportunity to clean that space up and bring it up to speed, so.
Very much so.
All right, very good. All right. I think you have one more, CD3?
Yeah, for this one, the applicant was having some internal coordination issues with travel and other things, so they have requested that this be continued to the June 17th, 2026 meeting.
All right. We will see that on June 14th when it comes back. All right, next one, PW1. What do you got, Chief?
Is PW3.
PW1?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were on to, I was like looking forward to the surplus items. I thought we were going to get the Bluesmobile, man, but sorry. What do we got? What do we got, Brian? Something much more boring.
Sorry to disappoint him here.
Yeah.
Yes, we're just basically requesting to surplus two of our vehicles. We have a street division 2012 Ford 250 that has almost 100,000 miles. It's about 14 years old right now, and it's just past its useful life. And then another one in our engineering division that we use for our interns for a few years. It's about 16 years old, and it has 154,000 miles. Both of these are starting to cost us a little too much to maintain, so we're going to go ahead and surplus them and just put them through bed and stuff. So they were both backups and kind of just past what we can
All right.
continue to maintain.
It's time to go, it's time to go. Any questions, thoughts, concerns? All right, we'll put that on consent then. And then lastly, PD1. What do we
Real
got
quick,
here?
I appreciate you guys giving us the maintenance costs. I know that's some newer information that we've asked for, so I appreciate you bringing that to us.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mayor. City Council, this is Resolution 26-076. This is a request to purchase 3 modules of the DACRA Municipal Enforcement System, the Adjudication Violation Hearing Module, the Police Adjudication E-Citation Module, and the Building Code Notice and Summons Module. The purchase is intended to modernize the city's ordinance enforcement adjudication process, which is currently paper-driven, excuse me, and requires individuals to input everything into the Police Information and Planning System, a PIP system that's housed at the police department. It's more than 25 years old. It has very limited support, as you can imagine, no online functionality and no outward interfaces for the public. The DACRA platform will provide a fully digital solution for issuing citation, managing code enforcement cases, scheduling hearings, conducting adjudications, tracking outcomes, all that type of stuff. The key features include citation issuance through mobile devices, which all the police cars are already have, which would definitely be a huge cost savings for us. We already use the other DACRA modules, Illinois e-citation truck and municipal towing at the police department. This proposal includes a one-time setup, configuration, and training fee of $10,000, as well as ongoing licensing costs of $2,600 per month under a 3-year agreement. The monthly fees consist of a $1,600 per month adjudication violation hearing module, $500 for the police adjudication e-citation module, and $500 for the building code notice and summons module. It's about totaling $31,200 annually. The setup fee would be funded through federal seizure, while the recurring licensing costs would be shared between the police department, code enforcement, or Lance's department. Be has reviewed all of this with his staff. We both came to this agreement together. And we would be requesting Resolution 26-076 be placed on City Council for action or consent.
All right, what do you guys? You guys got questions, thoughts, concerns? Jonathan, you're the software guy. You good with this?
Yeah, and the police liaison, we talked about it last time, 2 weeks ago when we met, and again, a little bit this morning, and it seems like the right thing to do. I mean, it's pretty labor intensive to continue to do paper tickets, so.
All right.
Not that I want them to be writing parking tickets more frequently, but as long as people park correctly, it should be fine.
Well, then there's nothing else. We can put it on for a consent then. All right, friendos. So that brings us to new business. Anybody up here got anything? All right. So we also have some open comment cards. So it's that time. What I have actually, so open comment time is 20 minutes, which is perfect because we have 5 cards, so people can get 5 minutes each. I will ask that everybody kind of, Sandy, you're first, so come on up to the podium, and then if, Emily, Brent, and Noah, if you guys can kind of just line up over by the wall and be prepared to step up next, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, did you say 5 minutes each? It would be four for dividing into 20.
Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, right? 4 cards, yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
you said 5 cards. Okay, 4 cards?
I misspoke. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
It makes sense that I wouldn't be able to do math, though, but, all right. All right, Sandy, please.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Bursensky. I am not only a resident of Lockport, but I am also representing Citizens Against Ruining the Environment, CARE. I spoke at the May 26, 2026 workshop meeting held at Lockport East High School. I spoke of many issues and concerns held by CARE and myself concerning data centers, along with the belief that they do not belong in the city of Lockport. I also asked at the end of my comments to reopen the Star Innovation District Master Plan, along with addressing zoning for the site. Excuse me. I appreciate that you listened to my suggestion. I'm here today to address the May 28th press release that ended by saying, and I quote, The City Council will suspend discussions regarding future data center development proposals within the city of Lockport, end quote. While I agree with the sentiments of that document, I would like to acknowledge that it is a non-binding press release. One could argue that to make a statement like that in a press release without City Council action to back it up is just a collection of words to placate concerned citizens. Because of this, I am strongly calling for the mayor and elected officials to enact a total ban of data centers in the city of Lockport, even with the hope of, quote, broader state and federal oversight, end quote, that may be coming, as mentioned in the press release. This city must do what's best for its residents. Just because Lockport's past was one of heavy industry that had a negative impact on our environment and quality of life, that does not have to be our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. All right, Emily, you're up. Emily? Sorry, you were just next in the pile.
Okay. So first, I wanted to say thank you for listening to the people at the last workshop and pausing the discussions in the data centers. I have lived in Lockport since I was a little kid, and my family's been here for generations. You guys mentioned White Hen earlier. If you know John, that's my grandpa. It's a relief to me that, at least for now, I won't have to worry about something so disastrous going in and across the street from me. I live on State Street. But that's just for now. After seeing what's happening in Joliet and various towns across the country, with data centers being snuck in behind the people's backs, I think we need to take it a step further. On behalf of many of us in Lockport, I propose that we pass a ban on all data centers in Lockport. Lockport is a beautiful place, and I want to make sure the town and its people remain protected. Just 2 days ago, Lyle banned data centers, and it's important that we follow suit. Again, ban data centers in Lockport. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Emily. Brent, I had you next.
Thanks for letting me speak, Mayor. I saw a lot of the city council and the mayor, of course, at the workshop last week. I got the advantage of being able to speak to, it wasn't a lynch mob, but there was a lot of protesters there, of course, last week. And I thank you for tabling the discussions and the incorporation of the data center, Mayor. I appreciate that. I'm here tonight, like the couple of the previous speakers. We'd like a moratorium, of course. We're happy that you've put it on hold, but obviously a moratorium is our end goal here. I've become more passionate about data centers. I didn't know very much about them a couple of months ago, and of course, as an engineer, I've done a lot of background research on it. Looked at videos of people that live by them that got them snuck in their communities. They're very, very bad, of course. As a precinct committeeman and HOA president, I hear a lot of people that are against it, and I'm speaking for them that they also want a moratorium, of course. I'm from the 4th Ward, way down at the south end. And I would encourage all of the city councilmen also to reach out to your wards and get your finger on the pulse of the residents and the taxpayers and see how they feel also about this subject. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brent. And then Noah, please.
Good evening, council. Good evening, mayor. Yeah, so in that press release that you released after the workshop, you guys had said that you were suspending discussions on data centers, but the community isn't. We're still talking about this issue. This is an issue that still remains very important to us. And even more importantly, developers are still looking for towns and cities to exploit their natural resources. Just today, Monterey Park, California had a ballot initiative in their town, and 86.3% of their citizens voted to enact a total ban on data centers. I think that's pretty shocking, and 7 in 10 Americans, according to a May 13th Gallup poll, oppose the construction of AI data centers in their town. I also know at the workshop, Mayor, you talked about how we're waiting for statewide and federal regulations on data centers to sort of sort this thing out. Well, the General Assembly just convened and no Power Act was passed. There's no end in sight to this data center crisis. And I think a lot of people I've been talking to in the community and the people I represent, we essentially have no assurance from the city of Lockport that, in some other piece of land somewhere else that a data center might not pop up. And, the concerns will still remain, there will still be community opposition. And I think that the city can regain a lot of trust if, they passed a data center moratorium. And one last thing, Village of Lisle on June 1st passed a set of ordinances which effectively ban data centers. So I have a few copies of that ordinance and for city staff and for the mayor to take a look at. Thank you.
Thank you, no, I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate all the public comment, and if I may, try to allow everybody to leave here in peace. When, basically a moratorium is a pause on discussions, and it's what we've done, actually. Whether there's a ban or not, this is where I want you to understand that we actually have processes that help us get through these kinds of things. Right now, we have I told you, there's a whole process that we have to go through to do anything, right? There's public hearings on big land uses, there's city council meetings, there's planning and zoning meetings, there's all kinds of things that are necessary. And I think I showed it to you guys for those who attended the workshop. You could see the whole list of things that we have to do. That's the process that we submit to for any big project like that. And we never even started into that process. It was just a discussion, and it wasn't a discussion and about trying to pass anything. We too have the same exact concerns about all the environmental impacts, power, water. That's why we brought folks that spoke to that. Our concern has always been that this keeps getting built without those regulations, and was there things that we could do that were extraordinary to hold accountable that sort of industry. I think the problem was that even with that, there was concern that even if we did put extraordinary demands on something, just to kind of wrangle it by the horns, that without state and federal legislation, that we wouldn't be able to hold those things or hold those kind of feet to the fire, and that's fair. And so when we suspend it, it's not because we're trying to find some backdoor way of doing it, but as I also mentioned in that press release that, well, actually it was a second press release, which was that we would revisit the Star Innovation District Master Plan at its 5-year anniversary, which happens to be next May. So it's a typical timeline for us to review master plans. And again, when we built the first master plan, it was built by the community, and we respect those processes. And a year from now, when we come together and revisit it, and there'll be no data center talk between now and then. There's no way we can sneak it in, right? And so between now and then, when the community comes back together, we will do it methodically, and we'll do it at a process as we always do it. And so there is going to be no data center talk. You're correct about there's the Power Act's going nowhere. We understand that. That's kind of one of the reasons why this has been trying to be upward pressure on our state and federal legislators, which I continue to put pressure on with them, because I do feel that the industry is growing one municipality at a time without any clear plan. And so the workshop was important to us to put upward pressure on our legislators for that. Whether they can pull it together or not, who knows? I don't see anything happening in the near future, which means in this time we'll submit to the process. And I want you to take peace in the process, because the process is a good thing. It keeps us from just making major land use decisions willy-nilly. We can't just go up here and be dictators and say, hey, you know what, after everybody leaves, let's go data center, all right, data center. We can't do that, and because we have a process to make that happen. And for any kind of project, it has to go through a whole piece. Nothing's going to get snuck through. And it also works in the opposite way. if there's just a large group of, anxiety, and people just come in and want to make a quick decision, the process also keeps us from making decisions just out of panic. We can submit to the process that we have. We will go through this next May. There's not going to be any data center talk between now and then. And it's essentially, Brent, like you were saying, it's a moratorium. We're putting it on pause. We're not going to do anything. And even if you're like, I don't believe these guys, they're gonna do it anyway. You don't have to believe us. I want you to believe the process. That process of all those meetings, of all that kind of committee hearings, all that happens to protect all of us from either a dictator kind of way or kind of like an angry mob kind of thing. Neither of those are good ways to govern, right? So we try to govern methodically. So I would say that if you still feel like that's something you can't trust, that's okay. I want you to stay engaged. Come to the meetings. Watch them online. Look at our meeting packets that come out every other Friday. Stay engaged. This is the first time I've actually had a good crowd of people here. Generally, nobody's in here. I want you to stay engaged. And so that way it'll help keep you civically oriented, which is a good thing, and then also help you understand that it's nothing that we're going to sneak through. So I do want you to go in peace tonight. We're not going to talk about data centers here in Lockport. We're going to be able to revisit all this as a community 1 year at the 5-year anniversary, which is when we always review master plans. And then as a community, we can come together again, put down our preferences for what we want to do, and then we'll go through the whole process to codify it and enact it at that time. So please go in peace.
Mayor, if I got one thing, I looked through the Lyle ordinance that was submitted, and it's really related to pulling data center out of their use table as a permitted use. And I guess I just wanted to reinforce that a data center is only an allowable use at the Star Innovation District. It's not allowed anywhere else in the city, because it is called out as a specific use in the Star Innovation District overlay district. And that came out of the Star Innovation District master plan, and that's why that was included in the overlay district, but it is not allowed anywhere else in the city.
Right, there's no other zoning, there's no other area where that could work, Noah, so.
Well, the only way it ended up in the Star Innovation District plan was because all of the people who were participating, and at that time, I think, like, it was aligned with like a passive use.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a conservation move.
Mm-hmm.
I think by the people there, and I was participating in that. That was before I had this seat, and so they've changed. Like, they're much different beasts now.
No
And
doubt.
I think that's where that conversation started, was that we were running off of the plan that the public had
Right.
participated and built,
Right.
and so
Yeah.
I don't know. At the end of the day, like it stinks to see. I despise social media. My phone's always on. I'll respond to text if you just want to send it a message that says I hate data centers, or an email, or meet me in person. I got 3 emails as part of this entire conversation, and it's sad. 'Cause I don't want to go to Facebook and see a bunch of people who don't even live in Lockport feeding the flames and trying to get the nastiest parts of us to come to the surface. And so please reach out to us. This isn't federal politics. This isn't even state politics.
No.
It's like us representing you every 2 weeks. And so reach out to us.
And so please stay engaged.
Yep.
Well, our public comment time is over, Mark. I appreciate it. You can talk to me afterwards. You can talk to me afterwards, Mark. I'm going to ask for, if we've got nothing else, I'll look for a motion to adjourn. Joanne, motion, second, all in favor? Mark, we can talk in the back.